Hi, hello, welcome to IS Factors Daily Means Challenge with me, Arjun R. Shankar. Today we are going for the day 3. I hope you're already written 2 answers, and if you're not able to make it, please push yourself forward and find time to write this because this will make a lot of impact in your answer writing and mains preparation. Okay, so let's start the session. Let's start the strategy session, the roadmap with me, Arjun R. Shankar. And in the meanwhile, do follow IS Factor India Telegram channel. And let's start the daily mains challenge. So, you exactly after getting the topic, you can put a timer, read it for 20 minutes, and then write the answer so that there is a challenge. Okay, today's topic is the human space flight program because we have been getting a lot of news regarding human space flight programs. Uh, we have seen a lot of things about mission Gaganyaan, Group Captain Prashant Nair, Shubhanshu Shukla. So all these people are in the news, and the most important thing is we know something about this, but not something that we can write an answer about. So that is why I've put up this important human space flight program and take a look at the important articles. CSIR ISRO is meeting in Bangalore to discuss about the human space flight program and the similar new milestones eyes human space flight in 2025. There are so many articles which talks about human space flight. That's why we are discussing. And now let's go to the important strategy points that you have to remember. First of all, you need to be very clear about what is India's human space flight program and Gaganyaan in detail. So, is it a three-member crew? So, this if this is it, so what is it in the future? So, what is this LEO, and what is LVM3 or human rated? All these things. So, know about the concept in detail is the first important point. Then know about there is something called as a HSFC or the Human Space Flight Center, which is supporting this. So, what exactly is the concept? Where is it? And what is the budget and the timelines that we're looking at? This is the year, target years, and the budget that we are looking at. Initially, this much amount is being spent. So, what is it going to be in the future? And also get an historical and political context. So, it is 1984. We're talking about 2025. So, 1984 was also a very important year. Rakesh Sharma's Soviet Soyuz Intercosmos was also an important thing of indigenous capability, but there was no indigenous capability back then. But now, know the historical evolution, how this has evolved is very important to know how India has come forward for the human spaceflight program. So historically, we are this is a very important line from remote sensing power to a crude space power is what India is looking at. So from a robotic mission, how India has evolved it historically, and know about the launch vehicles and part of that human rated. What is this former GSLV Mark III? Now we have the LVM3. What is the capability? Why is it used? All these are to be known. And what do you mean by a crew module? And what is a crew escape system? These are small things a part of this, but it's very important that we know such terms because when you get an answer, maybe you can use all these vocabularies, will enhance your answer writing. And talk about the mission architecture and the technology that is being used. What is the mission architecture? How is the mission completely set up? And what is the technology that they are using it? It is also to be noted. And how are the most important part of this whole mission is the training process involved. It's a massive thing. It's a meticulous training program that they have included in this. And what is the ground infrastructure? How are the astronauts, the people who are selected, being trained? What is the ultimate objective and rationale of this human space flight? Why are we doing this? And what are the dedicated centers for this? And how are we going to roll this out? And the next important thing is the most important thing: how is the international collaboration on this? ISRO is definitely in the forefront, but there are other important agencies, and how are they working? How are they supporting India? Are they supporting India? How are we looking at this? What are the lessons that India should learn from the international players? How is private sector and new space coming into this? So definitely the private sector, the role of private sector in space is a very important topic, as well as when it comes to so human space flight, you need to be very clear about the private sector and what are the abort and safety tests, the upcoming flight plans, what is the timeline, how are we looking at this are all important aspects of this. And definitely by this time, I'm sure you must be definitely learning about the Bharatiya Antariksha Station. When are we going to have this? What is BAS? This can even be an individual question. What is this BAS? And what is this LEO, the low Earth orbit, and beyond LEO, how are we going to do with this? And how is ISRO treating synergy with other missions? Is there any other similar missions that we have? And how are we going to strike a balance between the other missions? What are the challenges and concerns of the human spaceflight program? Like there will definitely be technical, financial, institutional, ethical concerns regarding this. You need to be very clear about all those things and know about how what is the same thing I already discussed about the international collaborations. What is USA, NASA plus private? We have the SpaceX, all these things doing. How is Russia's Roscosmos doing? The China's CNSA and the European Union's ESA and Japanese agency called the JAXA. What are these agencies doing in terms of human spaceflight? What have they done? So is something that India should learn from them is also an important thing. Role of private sector is already discussed, and what is India's future roadmap? We have few timelines. How are we looking at this? Maybe in the future, what is going to be the lunar mission, Mars mission? Are we going to put humans into this? All these aspects should be covered in this. Okay, so these are the important topics that you need to work 20 minutes. And let's take the question here. 10 marks, 150 words. Compare India's human space flight program with those of the United States, Russia, and China. So you need to compare the three countries and what they have done. Second part of the question is, what unique opportunities and constraints shape India's approach? So definitely you'll have to write 2 pages. First of all, you need to write an introduction. Then you'll write about what is comparing. How do you compare with Russia, United States, and China and India? You'll compare all this, and the second part of the answer. Second part will have two portions. How you'll write compare. How do you? What are the unique opportunities and constraints that is shaping India's approach, and then you will write a conclusion. So this is it. I hope you can pull it off this question. So please write this answer, and in the meanwhile, do subscribe to our channel. We'll see you tomorrow. So I hope you'll write this answer. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Take care.